Okay, so today is Wednesday, and I was reading in the book of Job, and I found something so amazing. So, we always talk about how Job was blameless before God. He gave Satan access to come in, touch his cattle, touch his oxen, touch his donkeys. Like he wiped it all out, even his kids. A house fell on them. And we talk about how Job, when all of this happened, his response was prayer and worship. But we don't talk about the other 42 chapters of Job. Job was a wealthy man by a stretch of imagination. Like he was wealthy. He was one of God's favorites. Like he devoted his life. He dedicated his life to serving God, and God blessed him for that. And so when Satan was touching everything around Job, Job fell down, he worshiped, he prayed, he did all of these great and wonderful things. But when Satan started to touch him, he cursed the day he was born. Job was going through so much so that his friends came and sat in silence with him for 7 days. And then after that 7 days of silence, like they started quarreling back and forth. Like his friends was really eating him up. But what they were telling him is you're suffering because you sinned. And Job was pleading his case with them like, I know I didn't do this. I know that I did not sin. This is why this great turmoil has come upon me. But his friends was convinced that he had did something, sinned against God some kind of way in order for God to come and do what he did. The friends thought that it was God who was doing all of this that happened to Job. And what I love about this particular story in the text is at the moment where you have those around you who are not feeding you the correct things, who are not giving you the word, God will send someone. And God sent someone to Job. First he rebuked him, then he edified God, and then he released the blessing on Job. And God began to tell Job what he needed to do in order to be restored at that moment. So God was like, listen, your friends, like, they didn't spoke evil against me, okay? They didn't lied on my name, right? And he told Job to intercede for them. And it's three things that I got out of this entire story with Job. Number one, suffering does not last long. The Bible does not specifically state how long Job was in suffering, but we can deduce just from different text about my soul is in turmoil for months. We can deduce that Job probably suffered between the area of 9 months to 2 years. But suffering does not last long. Although while you're in it, right? You are in it right now. You're in the thick of it. Know that suffering does not last long. The second thing, you have to be careful about who you allow to speak in your life, and not just speak in your life, but who you go back and forth in conversation with, because the very ones that you may be going back and forth in conversation with, maybe those that are speaking poison over you or that are speaking lies over your life. Job friends said, you must be sinning. Job was not sinning. God was using him as an example to Satan, because remember, Satan's biggest tactic, or well, his biggest thing that he wants to do is to prove God wrong about us, right? So God offered up Job as an example. And then thirdly, when the blessings of God, so God told Job to begin to intercede for his friends, right? And so the third thing is God will bless you when you begin to intercede for others. When you begin to pray for others, when you begin to worship for others, God will bless you. Job had like, so when Job interceded for his friends, God doubled what he had before. Job 42:12, and the Lord blessed the latter days of Job more than his beginning. And he had 14,000 sheep, 6,000 camels, 1,000 yoke of oxen, 1,000 female donkeys. He had whole nother set of kids. So this is definitely a testament that weeping may endure for a night, 2 nights, 3 nights, whatever. But there's joy that's coming in the morning. And it reminds me of another scripture. God is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we could ever ask or think. So don't get weary in your suffering. It only lasts a night, right? Don't get weary in what you are going through right now, because it only lasts a night. Financially, we are waiting for God to move. Financially, we are waiting for God to answer and show up for us on our behalf. And God is saying that you are suffering now, but suffering, it only lasts for a night. Hold on, keep interceding, keep worshiping, keep praying for those that are around you. And God will come and double what he gave you at first. This is why people say what God takes away is only because he has something greater and planned in store for you. And you can start that off by taking the 5-day $1,000 reset challenge that I am starting this month, okay? We are in a season where we are moving past staying in our suffering. We're moving past staying where we've always resided. Like Jeremiah said, God is getting ready to do something new. Can you see it? Can you see it? Visit the link in my bio to sign up for the 5-day challenge. It is completely free. And I have a few bonuses also in there for you. Also follow me for more. Bye.